Hey, welcome back. It's always good to see you today. It's been a few days. I'm sorry about that. Work has been busy this week, and I just haven't had the energy in the evening or the mornings to do any videos for a few days. I've just been really low energy this week, but I'm hoping to get the energy back up. I have a lot I want to get done today, but first, let's record some videos. So, we are going to take a look today at Destiny's first cup of tea. So this was uploaded on May 8th, and the next video that I have in my queue for Amberlynn was uploaded on May 9th. So I'm trying to keep them in order of upload. So, my first thought on Destiny doing this is why? They haven't been together for what, like 6 years? 7 years maybe? Why do any Amberlynn tea now? And the only thing that I can personally think of is Destiny wants to start making some money on YouTube. Maybe she doesn't like the job she has. Maybe she's not working. I know on Instagram she is engaged to someone new. So yeah, my first thought is why? Because any tea that Destiny has on Amberlynn is going to be lukewarm at best. We're not going to get any hot tea on Amber from Destiny at this point because it's just been so long. So, yeah, that's my initial thought on this, is that Destiny just needs to make some money on YouTube. So she brought her channel back thinking, you know, I can make some money off of spilling some quote tea on Amberlynn. So this first video, as we can see, is a little over 28 minutes long. Her next two videos, the second and third cup of tea, are like almost an hour long. So we'll see how I feel about actually watching those, the whole thing, and doing a reaction, or if I just take bits and pieces. So, but let's go ahead and get into Destiny's first cup of tea. Oh, real quick though, sorry. She has a video before this titled Beach and Tea, and I haven't watched it, and I don't know if I will or not. So, but let's go ahead and get into it. We'll see what Destiny's speaking speed is before I decide if I need to speed her up or not. Alright, nice little intro here. Destiny's putting some effort into her channel. That's nice to see.
Hey guys, so if you hear anything going on in the background, I have 101 Dalmatians playing for my dogs. They like to watch TV.
So the dogs like to watch 101 Dalmatians. That's funny, but also cute. So, all right, let's see here.
But I know you guys have been anticipating this, waiting for this video. Like I said before, it's not going to all be in one video. I've been doing some research, if you will, to see.
Research? What, are you watching Amberlynn's videos?
Like, I don't know, to see where I need to start. And I guess I should really start from the beginning with me and Amberlynn. So I have a little notebook and I took some notes.
Has lightly toasted on the front of it. Okay. All right, I'm going to speed her up to 125 and see if that speed's okay or if it's too fast, but we'll see.
So for some previous stuff. So this is just give you guys a better understanding, I guess, of how it all started to how it all ended. And then some after, obviously.
All right. That's attractive, having a burp as the thing there. All right, 2015.
Okay.
At least I think it was a burp.
So we're going to start in 2015. That is the year that I met Amberlynn and that we started dating. She wasn't very big on YouTube yet. I didn't even really know that she had a YouTube when me and her started talking. So YouTube was pretty kind of like irrelevant. But I met her. We met on I don't know if you'd call it a dating app. I don't think it was a dating app. I think it was just like a chat app. But I think I've said this in a previous video when I was in one of her videos. Someone had been using my pictures on there and was catfishing people. I don't know why. Like,
That's funny.
of all people, you're gonna pick me. Didn't know the person really, so it was just a mess. But that was March of 2015. I was actually in a relationship at the time, going on. That would have been almost 3 years. Not quite, but it was just past the 2 year mark. Um, it was a long
Hmm.
distance relationship. I lived in Florida and she lived in California. I'm not going to go into too much detail about her because I don't need y'all swamping her with stuff. Um, we're cool now. It's all good.
Okay.
Um, I had no intentions of meeting anyone on that app. I mean, I was just on there to make sure I still wasn't being used as someone else's pictures. So
That's funny. Huh. Interesting.
then I meet Amberlynn on there. I don't really know. I think I messaged her first, probably. I don't know. But she just looked like someone cool to talk to. It wasn't going to be anything like that. Um,
So if I remember correctly, Amberlynn was with Crystal at this time and was in what, like Virginia or something? Or was it California? Maybe it was I can't remember where she lived with Crystal. My God.
so me and her talk on and off for a little while, like just as friends, whatever. And let me see. So then, like the end of April, beginning of May, which the relationship I was in for a long time, like I said, but you can see Carter getting comfy on the couch. Um, the relationship I was in, the girl I was with, sorry, there was someone messaging me. Um, I wasn't sure where we were going, basically. We had been long distance the whole time we had been together. We had met a few times, obviously, and spent a while together. I went to California. She came to Florida once, and she came to Kentucky once. The first time we met was when I was in Kentucky. Um, but I was ready. I was working. I was ready to find our own place, moving together. I was ready to move on to the next step, and we were engaged. So I've been engaged. This will be my third engagement. Don't judge me. Um,
Oh, I'm totally going to judge you. Um, I have an exes like that. It was all about wanting to get engaged immediately. And I think, in my opinion, I'm not a psychologist, that stems from fear of people leaving you, maybe. And you think that if you're engaged, then they really want to be with you. They're going to be in it for the long haul. But that's just my thoughts on that.
that girl, I was with her from I was 17 till 19. So, um, yeah, we were young and in love. So that's that.
Were you?
But I don't know. I guess I was scared to kind of leave her, and I didn't know what Amberlynn's intentions were. And I'm gonna kind of make myself look bad here, but I did essentially cheat on the girl I was with Amberlynn.
So my Fitbit's charging, by the way. So she cheated on her 2 year long relationship with Amberlynn. And there's been lots of speculation that she cheated on Amberlynn with Dana. Destiny, I mean, she's being honest about it at least, but she's not making herself look really good here. She's making herself look like kind of a player, kind of a cheater.
So I feel like karma caught up to me eventually. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because wasn't it, didn't, isn't the speculation, or it's been confirmed by Dana perhaps? I think that Dana cheated on Destiny. Um, I think that's what I heard. Now, I haven't heard anything about anything that Destiny has said in these videos. I've been able to completely avoid anything related to what Destiny has said in any of these videos. So I'm going in blind here.
So, but I break up with her sometime the end of April, beginning of May. So then after that, um, which the way that they found out about each other, Amberlynn actually messaged the girl, and I was being a player. I was doing too much, but I didn't know how to end things. I'm not good with confrontation. I am now, but I wasn't then. um, so then after all that's said and done, we're broken up. I start to pursue a relationship with Amberlynn. Then
Okay, so Amberlynn messaged the girl that Destiny was in a relationship with. I wonder if she was like, "Hey," I mean, what did Amberlynn say to this girl? Like, by the way, your girlfriend cheated on you with me. I wonder wonder how that conversation went. So also just real quick, if Destiny was 19 in 2015, then she's, let's see, 27 now.
She's living in Virginia at the time with Crystal. I don't think they had been broken
Virginia,
up
that's
very
right.
long, but and she didn't have to leave Crystal's. Like they were more than welcoming for her to be there. I know that much, but I can see how it would have been kind of awkward, being there and that's your ex's parents and
Absolutely.
house and all that.
Yeah.
So
That would be a very awkward situation to be living with your ex-girlfriend and her family. I mean, never mind just living with your ex while you're dating somebody else, but with your ex-girlfriend and their family. That would be a very awkward situation.
I don't know. This is probably the only time I've ever really like U-hauled real fast. Maybe besides with Dana. This was really fast though. Um, we decided to get a place together, and Amberlynn, I don't think she had worked very much, so she was kind of concerned about like rent and everything and her trying to get a job. So I was like, well, we'll get a roommate, at least for the time being, until you can get a job, because I had a job and I had someone that I thought would do good as a roommate for us. So we decided to get a place together and get a roommate. Okay. So in June, this is June of 2015, I find an apartment, one that we
Okay.
finally agree on, what have you. And then I plan a trip to not only Kentucky, but to Virginia
Why
to get
Kentucky?
Amberlynn, essentially. So it's around the 4th of July. It's like the weekend of the 1st or the week of the 1st, whatever that day was. I know it was on a weekend, though. Um, my mom was going to take me to Virginia, but she was going to have too much stuff to do. So my mammy, who's my mom's mom, my grandma, but I call her Mammy, she said that she would take me. And I want to say from where I was out in Kentucky to where Amberlynn was in Virginia, I want to say it was like,
So was Destiny in Kentucky at this time and not Florida? Had she moved to Kentucky from Florida, I guess?
I don't know, a 7-hour drive. I'm not really entirely sure. I don't remember. I know it was still a pretty good drive after just getting to Kentucky, which I didn't drive to Kentucky. Um, I was driving then, and so was my sister, but my dad didn't want us driving quite yet like that, so he drove us to a halfway point. I'm sorry, my dog's going crazy. And met up with my mom, and then my mom took us the rest of the way. So I get there on the 1st. On the 2nd is when I go to get Amberlynn with my mammy and my pappy. We get back the next day, so July 3rd. I know we only made like a pit stop on the side of the road to go to sleep and drive the rest of the way. It was a lot. I was only going to be there for a few days. We go to my family's cookout on the 4th of July, and that's when, I officially asked her out, and that's when we officially started dating.
Okay.
So then,
So you decide to move in together before you're officially dating. That's putting the cart before the horse a little bit there, isn't it? I mean, sure, being roommates, fine, dandy friends, that's great, but yeah, seems a little jumping the gun there a little bit. So I was not here for any of the Destiny era. I've only seen, good grief, Destiny's twins rubbing off on me. I've only seen some bits and pieces from the Destiny era. I joined at the end of the Becky era. I like Becky. She's cool.
we move into the apartment sometime, like right before my birthday. So we get back to Florida on like the 5th or 6th.
Florida.
And then my birthday's the 13th. So we moved in between that little time slot.
So we're in Florida.
And everything's really good for a little while. Amberlynn wasn't quite sure where she was going to be working. I wasn't sure where she was going to be working. She was looking, and I knew we were hiring for something at my work, but I wasn't sure if she was going to want to do that. So, I talked to her about it, and essentially she did end up getting it. July 18th is the day Gracie went missing, and I've already addressed that she did not let my cat out. It was my roommate by accident.
Okay. Yeah. People still seem to go on about the whole Gracie situation, which I've heard a lot about. But now we have Destiny also confirming, no, Amberlynn did not do this. It was the roommate. So that came in really late one night.
So then, let me see, we're to August now. I think that was one of the first times we introduced Libby, was in one of those videos. That was my roommate's sister.
It's so weird hearing that name because I go by Libby. So when I hear somebody else called Libby, it throws me off a little bit. Or Elizabeth also. As you can see by my YouTube channel name, my name is Elizabeth, but I go by Libby, so it's a little weird. So I have heard about the whole Libby situation. Wasn't she like 16? She was really young, and people thought that Amberlynn was being really inappropriate with the way she spoke to her, I believe.
And I had been friends with our roommate since I was in the second grade, but we didn't really become like best friends till middle school. So I don't know, remember how much older I am than Libby. She was 15, so and I was 19, so like 5 years. So like sixth, seventh grade would have put her in like, I don't know, first or second grade. I don't know. She was little. I was supposed to go to college. I know that at one point we're filming me
Supposed
school
to.
shopping for clothes and what have you. Couldn't figure out financial aid quite right. My dad was really confused by it, and that made me really confused by it. But essentially, in Florida, I don't know if this is everywhere, but until you hit 25, your financial aid goes off of your parents' income. And my dad made way too much money for me to get any kind of financial.
That's how it is everywhere because it has to be the same across the country. To apply for like the FAFSA, the federal application for student aid, it uses your parents' income. So that's the same way as in you can stay on your parents' health insurance until you're 25. So yeah, so unless your parents and you are like completely separated and you've been like emancipated, or you have no contact or whatever, or you're independent, whatever, then it would go off your income. But yeah, the FAFSA goes off your parents' income. Wonder what Destiny's dad does.
Aid, and I was unsure about taking out student loans, mostly because I was unsure of what I wanted to do. So, and eventually I just gave up on college, honestly. I didn't really like school that much, and I didn't see myself really.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, as we've said many times before when it comes to Amberlynn as well. So if you're happy not going to university or college and are doing what you want to do, more power to you.
Pursuing school too much longer. So it was for the best. We got Wasabi in August. Now, I know that y'all were like,
Oh, Wasabi. Oh, goodness. How old is Wasabi then? Wasabi would be like 8 years old now. Oh, 7 years old? About. Almost 8.
trying to say that she wanted Wasabi so bad, and that's why Gracie went missing. No, whatever. I mean, we looked everywhere for my cat, and if push came to shove and my cat did turn up and we had already had Wasabi, it would have been fine. So that's essentially why I didn't care if we got Wasabi. It didn't bother me.
So I think one of the things also with the whole Gracie situation is Destiny was very upset about her cat getting out, and Amberlynn seemed to be really insensitive for her being this wonderful empath. She seemed to be really insensitive to Destiny's feelings and wasn't very comforting to Destiny. I mean, everybody responds and reacts to things differently, but with Amberlynn filming Destiny being super upset, making these signs to put out to find Gracie, and Amberlynn just being really kind of insensitive about it, was, I think, one of the issues a lot of people had with that situation also. And why they thought Amberlynn had let Gracie out, because the way Amberlynn was responding to Destiny wasn't in the most sympathetic vein.
And then at that point in time, we were also pretty regular people at Denny's. We had our own table. I know when we would go in there, we were pretty regular.
I believe I remember seeing a clip of Destiny saying something like, in your natural habitat, and she's showing the Denny's. And that upset Amber.
That's also when she started.
Hey, I was a regular at Denny's when I was in college. Me and my friends in college, especially in grad school, in the last couple of years of my undergrad as well, would be at Denny's every night, drinking coffee and doing homework. We got to know all the servers, the managers. We were Denny's regulars in in the town where I went to university, because that's where we would go study together. We would go to Panera Bread earlier in the evening and have coffee and do homework at Panera. And when Panera got ready to close, we'd pack up and go down the road to Denny's and sit at Denny's. And like all of my friends, even outside of the university, the townies, they were called, Denny's was where we went.
Working with me, and one of the platforms that she was using a lot to talk to you guys was Ask FM. She was using that a lot. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore.
Haven't heard of that.
September comes around. She's working with me. It's going very well. So essentially, when she first started working with me, she was not a PCA worker. She was like dinner help because dinner was a very
Oh, my arm of my chair hit my desk. I think a PCA is a personal care aide, where I believe um, those are people in nursing homes and places like that that walk around and check on the people. I know you have to have certain certifications to give people medication, and those are often called med techs. I think I have an ex girlfriend from my early 20s that was a med tech, and she would work in nursing homes, and she was able to distribute medication to people. Um, so I think this is a personal care aide, I think is what they're called, and they just help around the nursing homes and places with general tasks that the people there need help with, like maybe bathing or cleaning or dressing, things of that nature, bringing them food, water, whatever.
hectic time. And we had an activities director at it was an assisted living facility. I don't think she ever explained that very well. And the activities director had just quit and they were in the middle of getting someone. So instead of having the activity director stay that late, they were like, what if we hired someone that was literally just like a 4-hour shift? They came in at, I think it was 4 or 5. I don't know. It wasn't very long though. I think it was 4 to 8. Like it wasn't very long. It was literally just to help with dinner, help with the cleanup. And I was a PCA worker. So she started out just doing that, and then she eventually became a PCA worker as well, just for when someone called in and whatnot. She started Weight Watchers in September of that year at some point. She
Okay.
also mentioned something about the seatbelt was broken in my car. Now, my car, it was a 2000 Honda Civic, the car that I had the whole time me and her were together. That car was in no shape or form broken. The seatbelt was not broken. I don't ever remember her actually trying the seatbelt on, but I don't think it was going to be able to go around her. I think she just said it was broke because she didn't want y'all to know that it didn't fit her. But eventually, when I get my new car after I have that car, the seatbelt in it, because she rode in my car a couple times, that seatbelt did fit around her, and that was like the first time she wore a seatbelt in a long time. Like, I don't know. She was really
So I could understand Amberlynn having that kind of almost like shame, like the seatbelt. I'm so big, the seatbelt in the car will not go around me. But to say it was broken, I mean, I understand that fear, but that's one of the things that people will point to say she lies about things, like the seatbelt, when it was just probably her feeling ashamed of it. Seatbelts do pull out quite a bit, but yeah, you really need to be wearing that seatbelt, especially somebody Amberlynn's size. You get into an accident, that's a lot of weight coming flying. So
happy about it. Um, and then she came to work with me even on days that she was off. She volunteered. I don't know if that was essentially just to get out of the house more or just to be like with me more. I didn't really care
Aw.
because I was working, and usually when she was there volunteering, she was just sitting with the certain resident that she said was her favorite. And then when they left, she was just, really just chilling, hanging out with the residents. It was fine. Nobody cared.
I mean, that's fine. The residents, I'm sure, were happy to have somebody there to visit with them. So, I mean, that was, if Amberlynn wanted to go in, I mean, just to kind of get out of the house, be around people. I think going to an assisted living facility or a nursing home to visit with the residents, I think that's wonderful, personally. Now, if she just wanted to be around Destiny, yeah, whatever. But I mean, visiting with the residents, that's very nice, I think.
Um, and I also know this happened either the end of September or the beginning of October. Me and her got in a really bad argument in Walmart. I called her the ex from before. I called her the pet name that I had for them. It was Pookie. And I don't know, it was just
Pookie. Oh, Pookie.
I guess a habit. Like we were just bickering and I said it. And I don't know what it was, but it set her off. And she was in what is that, the scooters at Walmart. She was in one of those. And she just kind of took off. And I kept calling.
I can just imagine Amberlynn zipping off in the little rascal in a huff.
Calling her, I couldn't find her. She got like away from me and she wouldn't answer me. I couldn't find her. You know, she would not answer me. And I was like, not about it. I was like, okay, whatever. And I left. I went to my car. I don't think I had anything with me. I think she had stuff in her buggy. But I went to my car and I went back to the apartment. Now, we lived just around the corner from this Walmart. So we weren't too far, but it was still, if you walked it, it was a good walk. So I go home and I don't know what it is. When I get angry or upset or whatever, I want to just take a shower. So I get home and I take a shower in hopes that when I get out, everything will have cooled off. Maybe she would have called me, whatever. So she had called me a couple times when I got out of the shower. And lo and behold, she had started to walk home. I don't think she bought anything that we had with us either. Just walked. She walked probably like halfway. So she walked a good bit. It was
So I don't remember how big Amberlynn was at this time, but wow.
very surprising. But she did. She walked a good bit, and I went and picked her up and drove her the rest of the way home. And it's not something I'm proud of, but after that, let me see. After that, the ex I had before, I started reaching out to her because I don't know. That's just, I feel like that's normal what people do when you start to have issues in a new relationship. I don't know. You seek comfort in what you knew before, I guess is what I was doing. And
I don't know how normal that is. I don't. Yeah, I could see Amberlynn getting upset by that. Having, yeah, that would, it's especially with Destiny having cheated on this ex-girlfriend with Amber. I could see Amberlynn getting really upset by this. I had a similar situation about 10 years ago with a girlfriend. That, yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, this maybe wasn't the best decision of Destiny's. Uh,
I
yeah,
wasn't like trying to be like flirting or anything like that, but I mean, I was secretly talking to her. So, I mean, I guess that's still bad, obviously. But I would just
keeping it away from your current partner makes it seem like you're doing something bad, even if you aren't. Because if you know that your current partner would not like you talking to that person, maybe you should bring it up first and be like, hey, this ex of mine, we're still friends, we still communicate, there's nothing going on. Um, how do you feel about that? I know that some people are okay with it, some people aren't. And I mean, it's kind of a, can you tell your partner who they can and can't talk to? No, not really. But then there's also the situation of, I know that if I talk to this person, it's going to upset my current partner. So you have to find some kind of middle ground there. And doing it in secret makes it look bad.
call her when I was alone, basically, or text her. The way I texted her, though, I would get a texting app on my phone and delete it when I wasn't using it. So that's pretty sneaky on my part. It's pretty bad on my part, but I just knew that there was no way Amberlynn would have let me talk to her, basically. So I hid it.
The letting you talk to someone, I don't care for that terminology because you need to be open about these sorts of things. I understand Amberlynn would have been upset, and Destiny knows Amberlynn would have been upset by that, but she did it anyway. Um, Not sure what that says about Destiny. I could definitely see Amberlynn being a little upset by it. But yeah. Now, this ex-girlfriend of Destiny's, it doesn't seem like she was trying to cause any problems. It doesn't seem like she was trying to get Destiny back. So, I, yeah, not the best move on Destiny's part.
That's also when I started having the chest pain that I kept having. Eventually, I find out that that is stress-induced acid reflux because I think Amberlynn was stressing me
Reflux.
out a little too much. That's also when I found out I had asthma. Um,
Why was
so
Amberlynn
there's
why was Amberlynn stressing you out, Destiny? Just being in the relationship? Was she trying to be controlling? Was she just being difficult? Why was being with Amberlynn stressing you out?
that. Let's see. That's also when Amberlynn stabbed her hand and she had to get stitches.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
yeah, the avocado.
traumatic and dramatic. October comes
Traumatic and dramatic. All right.
around. I know we went to the fair around there. She didn't ride anything with me. She was too scared mostly.
Too
I don't
big,
know
probably.
if she would have fit on anything, not anything like saying anything bad, but it's
I don't think she would have. I mean, it's just a reality. I don't think Amberlynn would have fit on anything because the bars wouldn't close around her on any rides.
the state fair. You know, like the rides are sketchy as it is. That's when she also started doing some PCA work. I wrote that we had a lot of fighting at this point too. And that's when we got a phone plan together. So I got off my dad's phone plan and she got off Crystal's mom's phone plan and we got new iPhones. November comes around.
Growing up.
And that's when Amberlynn finds out her mom's in prison. Now, before her mom went to prison, I want to say it was 2 weeks before we found out she was in prison, her mom had started to reach out to her on Facebook. Now, I'm not trying to go into all of her personal details, but I know that they were like rekindling their relationship, reconnecting, and then her mom just kind of disappeared. And that's when I started researching, trying to figure out, like what happened to her, and that I found that she had gone to prison and that she was probably going to be in there for a while. I don't remember what the reasoning was.
That really sucks. That's probably drug related, according to what we've heard about Amberlynn's mom. But we do know now that her mom is out and she's doing much better, so that's good. But man, that sucks. That's rough to find out.
That's not my business to tell. And then, still in November, we started talking about moving somewhere else, not staying in that apartment.
In Florida, if I remember correctly.
And that's also when we were staying at my dad's a lot. I know that a lot of the time when she was filming that we would be at my dad's a lot. My dad was going through a divorce. I'm not trying to air out his business, but he was. And him and my ex-stepmom were kind of trying to figure out if they were keeping that house, selling it, like what was going on. So my dad was staying with his girlfriend and she was staying with.
So your dad had a girlfriend as he was starting to go through a divorce. Wow. Well, I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Mom, so no one was there. And my dad would go there a lot, obviously. Like, he wasn't living with his girlfriend. He was still there a lot, but it was mostly at night that he wasn't there, so he would want us to either stay the night there a lot or just stop by there at night because my dog, Kona, who ended up passing while me and her were together, he started to have really bad liver failure and he needed meds, and my dad just didn't like him being alone. And at this point, he wasn't sure about taking our dogs over to his girlfriend's house, which eventually he does do. Then in December, you guys, if you look back in the videos, because that's kind of what I had to do, my friend Haley, who I still work with now, she works at the same place I do, has her first kid, Jediah. I always say that in the video. He was actually in one of me and Dana's previous videos, the one where I show the car seat that I get for my niece. He's the one that tests it out for me. Him and Shane helped me test it out. And so we go and see Jediah right after he's birthed. That's also when we found out that our roommate was going to be moving out and moving in with her boyfriend. She still agreed to help with rent until we could either find another roommate or figure out if we could do it on our own, basically. And then this is also when she starts showing our other two coworkers from the nursing home or assisted living, whatever you want to call it, Casey and Cherie. She shows them a lot. I don't really talk to them that much anymore. Like, we're not like on bad terms or anything. It's just I stopped seeing them every day, so we didn't really keep in touch too well. Like I said, I'm still really good friends with Haley. I mean, we work together now. Also at this point, I really wanted to cut my...
So I guess Destiny's back in Florida. That's my guess.
My hair kind of the way I do it now. I was just too chicken.
Okay, whatever.
Let's see. Also, at some point in December of that year, I did get pulled over when we were in Alabama trying to surprise my friends. I got pulled over because I was going like 10 over, and all they did was tell me to slow down.
That was nice of them.
That's also when my mom came to visit, and she brought us a kitten that she couldn't find a home for. And essentially, we ended up giving that kitten to a friend because the kitten and Wasabi just didn't get along. I don't know why, but eventually me and Amberlynn get other cats, and he's fine with those cats. I don't know if it was like the age he was at that he didn't get along with them.
Maybe.
I don't know what was going on. They just didn't get along. And we gave her to one of my friends. I'm pretty sure my friend still has this cat. So, and she had other cats, and the cat did fine. Let's see. And then this is when she started going through like her vegan vegetarian phases. So she was a vegetarian for a little while, and then she would start like these different other diets.
Different diets.
I don't know. Like, it was her thing. I wasn't too keen on telling her how to live her life. So if she was trying a new diet, I was just like, go for it. You know, it's
you do you, boo.
It's on you. You got to eat the stuff. You got to do the stuff. So, and then we went on vacation for Christmas. That was our first Christmas together. Instead of getting presents for each other, we went there and we kind of celebrated Amberlynn's birthday all in the same. So that's all for the year 2015. I'm going to try to keep this separated by years. That way these videos don't stay too long. So that was 2015. Not a whole lot of tea, but some interesting facts. And I know she doesn't want me to make these videos because she thinks I'm just going to make her look bad, but I just admitted to a lot of stuff, which...
No, you made yourself look really bad in this particular video. But yeah.
She knows about, so, I mean, I'm not making myself look good either, essentially. So, all right. I will see you guys next time.
All right. Well, that first cup of tea was more like just water. Wasn't really much in that. Yeah, just a little bit of history on their relationship, how they got together, some of the early months in 2015. Yeah, not much to say to that, other than Destiny did make herself look really bad as far as the cheating and secretly messaging her ex-girlfriend just to talk to her. But I don't know. We'll see how the other cups of tea are. But this one wasn't much of anything in my opinion. So all that being said, we are going to end it here. And I'm probably going to work on stuff around the house and get my day going. So I hope you all have an amazing weekend or week whenever I get this uploaded, whenever you're watching it. And until next time, be safe and take care.